It was not satisfactory because when we give definition to something, and there is a new material of today's class, definition is of two types. We can give linguistic definition and terminological definition. You could also say literal definition and technical definition. What do I mean by this? Look, you can explain what does this word mean in Arabic language. And that's what we have done. We have explained the meaning of a word, ibadah, by looking it in a dictionary. This is linguistic definition, right? معنى لغوي in Arabic, they'll say, or literal. Or you could also call it vocabulary definition, dictionary definition, right? But then you have terminological definition. And terminological means how this word is used in specific context. Because in different branches of different disciplines, of different sciences, you will have different word can have different meanings. So, for example, when we say in Arabic, wajib, obligatory, right? We don't just mean just anything obligatory or far. We say something which, if you do it, you deserve worship. If you don't do it, this action deserves punishment. See, now this is already a specific definition, even though you could just say wajib, fard in Arabic, literal just means obligatory and so on. So, to give more examples, let's look at the word salah. We can look at the word salah and we can define it literal meaning, the way we look it up in a dictionary, and then we can look at a technical meaning, how we use it in a specific field, حقيقة شرعية, they will say in Arabic, in the context of Islamic Sharia, in the context of Islamic law. Because if you will look it up, the word salah, it just means dua, meaning it's a prayer, supplication. But now, does it mean that if the word salah literally means dua, calling to Allah, praying to Allah, it means that 5 prayers a day just means you do 5 duas per day and you're done? Well, some ignorant people will say yes, but that's because they don't distinguish between literal meaning, and that's the literal meaning of the word salah, and the meaning salah in a technical, terminological meaning, how we use it as a sharia, in the sharia sense. And here we define salah as, for example, you will find Zainuddin al-Malibari defined, Fath al-Mu'in. He said, أقوال وأفعال مخصوصة مفتتحة بالتكبير مختتمة بالتسليم, which means words and actions that start with takbir and end with taslim. So you see what we have done. We have defined salah as the one that is a second pillar of the deen, the one that is obligatory to do 5 times a day. It's all the words and action that begin with takbir, when you say Allahu Akbar, that's the beginning of salah, and that end with taslim, that's when you say Assalamu alaikum, and your salah is done. So everything between them is part of salah. Recitation of Quran is part of salah. Ruku is part of salah. Sujud is part of salah. Sitting is part of salah, and so on. So you see, that's what definition does. Definition allows us to clearly outline what they think about. Now, if someone will ask us, so why salah is called this way? Well, linguistic meaning allows us to make a better sense of the essence of salah, because the whole thing in the salah, in its core, it's the dua. Because you'll say, but how it's dua? Even what about, for example, recitation of Surah Fatiha? This is a dua. Because first you praise Allah, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Malik Yud-Din, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in, only you we worship, only you we ask to. And then you start making dua, Ihdina Sirat al-Mustaqim, guide us to the straight path. This is all dua. It's you addressing Allah, asking for guidance, asking for help. And before this, you praise Allah, as we should do, as Allah commanded us to do. So salah in its essence, linguistic meaning, help us to grasp the essence, is dua. As we will see further, the meaning of ibadah, literal meaning will help us to grasp technical meaning. But if we want to understand salah in terms of, for example, you see people make dhikr, dua after salah, after saying assalamu alaikum. Now you're thinking, is it obligatory or not? Is it all part of salah, or is it just something people do after salah? Well, the definition of salah helps you because you know that after you say assalamu alaikum, your salah is done. Even after that, yesterday, your wudu was invalidated, your salah is done. And everything which was before, Allahu Akbar, it was not part of salah. So we need to see clear boundaries, clear limits, and this is helpful. No, this is not just helpful, this is necessary. That's where we need technical definition, terminological definition, when things are defined and we see this is part of it and this is not part of it. Another example. Look at the word, for example, fasting. Well, in Arabic, the word sawm or siyam, right? So what is the meaning of this word in Arabic? Abstaining, imsak. Abstaining from something, that means then we will call this abstinence, not abstinence, abstaining, siyam, sawm. But not every, but when we speak about third or fourth, depending on the order, you can say third is zakat, fourth is fasting, or you say third is fasting, fourth is zakat, right? So we speak about one of the 5 pillars of the deen, fasting and Ramadan. It's more than just abstaining. Yes, abstaining gives us the core meaning, but the proper definition, technical, is abstaining from eating and drinking and sexual intercourse or their illegal equivalents. So, for example, smoking, a legal equivalent of eating and drinking, sexual intercourse, right? For example, masturbation also, you cannot do it during the day of Ramadan because it's going to invalidate, even though it's not the same as sexual intercourse. During the days of Ramadan, from Fajr to Maghrib. So you see, here are the much more meanings than just abstaining. Yet abstaining gives us the core. And this terminological meaning, you could say, relating to this core, expands it in this specific field. So, and then of course, if you can, the same terms in different branches can mean different things. For example, you can look at the word sunnah when scholars of usul al-fiqh use it in one meaning. Scholars of fiqh use sunnah in the way what we have described in the beginning. Something, if you do it, you reward it. You don't do it, you deserve. You neither rewarded nor punished. Scholars of hadith use the word sunnah in a different context, but the whole literal meaning of sunnah is just tariq, path, like example, path which people take and people follow and so on. That's why you will find hadith, whoever introduces good sunnah will get his reward, and those who follow him. Whoever introduces bad sunnah will get his punishment, and those who follow his example, because the word sunnah here just means example, path. So because that's a literal meaning, and then we start using it in a technical meaning of the scholars of hadith, technical meaning of usul al-fiqh, technical meaning of fiqh, the one we have looked at. So this is to illustrate that when we define things, we can have literal definition, and then we can have technical or terminological definition. You have basically, if you in usul al-fiqh, you will find detailed description of it. حقيقة لغوية, حقيقة شرعية, حقيقة عرفية, and then حقيقة عرفية being عامة and عرفية being خاصة. But we're not ready for the discussion yet. Okay, and then so we why am I speaking about all of that? Because we are talking about ibadah, and we have realized that we looked at the linguistic meaning, the one that dictionary gives us, the meaning of ibadah, the utmost level of humility, the obedience, right? For example, in the sense of obedience is used, for example, in Surah Yasin. أفلم ألم أعهد إليكم يا بني آدم ألا تعبدوا الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين. Did not I tell you, O sons of Adam, that you should not لا تعبدوا الشيطان, you shouldn't make ibadah to shaitan. But ibadah here means obedience. You should not obey shaitan. That it comes in the meaning of obedience. So it doesn't just mean worship shaitan in a sense like some Satanist movements would do. No, it just means don't obey shaitan. That's what Surah is. So that's literal meaning, the utmost level of humility, obedience. Now, what we want to know terminological meaning, the meaning which will give us the complete and full understanding of La ilaha illallah. So how do we know that this is worshipping to Allah, and this is worshipping to something other than Him? So for this, we need the technical terminological definition of ibadah. And to do that,